As we continue along here in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 6, you're going to start to see some titles over the verses, headings, if you will, that, man, they might just be a little ominous to you. They mention the word woes and sorrows, and it's like, oh, man, what's going on here? This might not be good. And if you read these verses out of context, you might get the wrong impression maybe of what's being said. So we're talking about Luke chapter 6, verses 24 through 26. They're kind of basically the opposite of the verses we covered a few weeks ago. The ones where we're saying, oh, if you've got it rough now, man, there's hope ahead. These kind of say the opposite. It says if you're rich, you have sorrow ahead. You have only your happiness now. If you're fat and prosperous, hunger awaits you. If you're laughing now, again, more sorrow. And then the next one, you might say, if you're popular now, more grief and sorrow ahead. And it'd be easy to look at these and say, oh man, God, if I do well in this world, you're going to punish me. You're going to do this. And it's like, that's really not what it's saying at all. Like I said, we have to read it in context. And what this is essentially doing, these three verses, it's asking a question, even though there's no question mark there. But if you read through this, the question is this. The question is, what or who are you resting in? If we look at all these things it mentions here of the world, there are things that bring us comfort, right? Rich, food, laughing, right? That's all. Life is good and comfortable. But the question it's asking is, who or what are you resting in? Are you resting in those things? The things of this world that one day will vanish? No matter how much or how little you have, one day this whole world's going away. So, are you resting in that? Or are you resting in the God that created and blessed us with every single thing we see and know and experience, who is eternal, who is not going away someday? So if you're trusting in all these comforts of the world, you might say, worldly comforts, they're all going to end one day. And when you've put your trust only in worldly comforts and they go away and you're an eternal being, I think it's pretty confident to say you'll feel these emotions, right? You'll feel sorrow because the only thing you loved is now gone. But if you put your comfort or your rest in the Lord God who's eternal, who goes on forever, boy, we go back to those verses we covered a few weeks ago, didn't we? That we have that hope, we have that awesome happiness because we will be in God's glory. We will be with Him eternally. So it's basically saying, hey, you got a choice. You can trust in this stuff and think you're living the good life, but when it goes away, you're going to wish you trusted in me who provided that to you from day one. But you didn't recognize me at all. You didn't look to me. You didn't thank me. You didn't surrender to me. Surrender your life to Jesus and trust that He is the only one that satisfies. I mean, so often we chase the things of this world looking for satisfaction, and it always disappoints. It always disappoints. And that's what these verses are saying. Not that you're going to get punished, but just that there's so much more available to you. There is an eternal God who loves you, who died for you, that you might be with Him eternally. Don't miss that opportunity. He gives it to you, and He's looking for you and me just to trust Him and give Him our lives. That's all I got. We'll catch you next time on Wednesday Wisdom.